You're not exhausted by life. You're exhausted from being someone you're not. From the outside, everything looks fine. Your job is stable. Your life is in order. You handle things. You're doing okay. People look at you and think, they've got it together. And maybe, on paper, that's true. But then there are those moments when you're alone, no phone, no noise, no one watching, and suddenly you feel it, a strange kind of tiredness, not physical, not the kind sleep fixes, something deeper, like you're tired of being yourself, and you don't quite understand why. If this feels a bit too accurate, comment number 1. You've probably tried to explain it. Maybe you think, I'm just doing too much. I need more rest. I need a break. But no, that's not it. You're not exhausted because you're doing too much. You're exhausted because you're performing a role for too long, and somewhere along the way, you've started to forget what's real. Carl Gustav Jung had a name for this. Persona, the social mask, the version of you that exists to be accepted. You weren't born with it. You learned it. You learned how to be easy to be around, understanding, low maintenance, strong, reliable, fine. You learned how to make others comfortable, but no one taught you how to be yourself. And that's where the problem begins. Persona itself isn't bad. You need it. It helps you function in the world. But when you live entirely inside it, you become it. And that's when you lose yourself. Here's the paradox. The better you play the role, the emptier you feel. The more people approve of you, the further you drift from who you actually are. The more stable you look, the more unstable you feel inside. If this resonates, comment number 1. But this goes deeper. You're not just tired of the mask. You're tired of suppressing parts of yourself. Jung called those parts the shadow. Everything you've pushed away, everything you've decided is not acceptable. Your anger, your selfishness, your need for attention, your desire to say no, your frustration. You buried it, ignored it, pretended it wasn't there. But it didn't disappear. It accumulated, waited, and then it started showing up in ways you couldn't control. You snap at the wrong people. You feel irritated for no clear reason. You lose energy even when you're doing nothing. You feel empty, even when your life looks full. That's the shadow. Not your enemy, just the part of you left behind. You're not weak. You're incomplete. But there's another layer, one you might not even realize is there. Animus, the rational, structured, decisive part of your psyche. The inner voice that pushes you to act, decide, move forward. It helps you function. It gives you direction. But when you're not aware of it, it starts controlling you. You become rigid. You argue to win. You believe you're always right. You disconnect from your emotions. You think you're strong, but in reality, you've lost balance. Now step back and look at the full picture. Persona pulling you outward, shadow pulling from below, animus pushing from within. 3 forces, 3 directions, and you, right in the middle. No wonder you're tired. You're not living one life. You're trying to manage 3. If you see yourself here, comment number 1. Now here's the shift you need to understand. You don't need to remove any of these parts. You need to integrate them. You don't throw away the persona. You become aware of when you're using it. You don't eliminate the shadow. You listen to what it's trying to show you. You don't suppress the animus. You learn when it's guiding you and when it's taking over. That awareness is where freedom begins. Jung called this process individuation, not becoming perfect, becoming whole. You stop splitting yourself into parts. You stop pretending certain pieces don't exist. You allow contradictions. You accept that you can be strong and uncertain, kind and selfish, rational and emotional, stable and restless. You don't choose one. You hold all of it. That's what real growth looks like. Not better, more real. But let's be honest, this path isn't easy. You'll see things about yourself you don't like. You'll have to admit truths you've been avoiding. You'll stop pleasing everyone. You'll start saying no, and that will cost you. You might lose certain relationships, You might lose the image people had of you. You might lose approval. For a while, you might feel a bit alone. But here's the trade. You lose the performance and gain yourself. And when that happens, something shifts. Your energy comes back, not because you're doing less, but because you're no longer pretending. This is what most people don't realize. Exhaustion doesn't come from effort. It comes from misalignment. You can work long hours if it's real. You can push yourself if you're not faking it. But pretending, maintaining an identity that isn't yours, that drains you faster than anything else. So the solution isn't more rest. It's more truth. You don't need to do less. You need to fake less. You don't need more motivation. You need less of what isn't you. And when you start removing those layers, everything changes. Energy returns. Clarity appears. You stop reacting. You start choosing. Here's the final truth. You're not exhausted by life. You're exhausted from trying to maintain a version of yourself that isn't real, and you can't keep doing that forever. Your body will resist. Your mind will push back. Your life will eventually force you to stop. The only question is, do you stop consciously, or do you wait until you have no choice? So pause for a moment. Ask yourself, where am I pretending? Where am I holding something that isn't me? Where am I saying yes when I mean no? That's where your energy is leaking. That's where your life is waiting. If you want me to go deeper into how you start removing the persona, facing the shadow, and rebuilding your identity without destroying everything you've built, comment number 1, because in the next video, we're going into exactly that. How to become yourself without burning your whole life down. And honestly, that's where things finally start to feel real again.